This stream is free too, Maury, you know. But what is up, guys? Dashing here for episode 519 of Community Universe Modern, edition number 139 of Saturday evening Genesis. Changing it up a little bit. We have got a hell of a show for you guys. As always, though, and kicking things off certainly in a big way with championship action. The CMV International Championship about to be decided, as here comes your challenger, the former undisputed champion, Reese Matthews. What up, everybody? What up, Maury? Good to see you back. Goat, Mark Topper, Batman, Quincy. Come on in, one and all, for the grand spectacle. Well, I wouldn't be so sure, because the last time that these two fought, Reese Matthews definitely pushed Brody Halleck to his limits. In fact, I do believe Reese Matthews was Halleck's second ever matchup on this side of CMV once he came to Genesis following Homecoming 3. Reese Matthews was originally supposed to get this opportunity 2 weeks ago, but of course Ricky Spanish ended up attacking him, taking that opportunity away from him. So last week he had to earn it back, winning a triple threat match, beating out Mr. Extreme and Perry Heaton to do so. But if he wants to walk out of Genesis tonight, out of St. Louis, Missouri, with the gold, he's got to topple the Tower of Dominance, the unbeaten brute known as Brody Halleck. This, of course, the beginning of Brody Halleck's weekly open challenge. He says, the more I defend my championship, the more I get paid. So come one, come all, step up, and I will knock you down, just like he has everybody else. We saw Alistair Knox over on Fusion begin his United States Championship Weekly Open Challenge with a victory, defeating Chris Sullivan via countouts. Let's see if Halleck is so lucky. And I know that I see a lot of people in the chat not putting a whole lot of faith behind, I should say, Reese Matthews. And, well, if you're a betting man, you got to look at the history. Brody Halleck has beaten Reese Matthews, but also Matthews looked very good, in my opinion, in that triple threat last week. He obviously wants this opportunity, trying to get his career back on track after this gum investigation debacle, yet again being thrown a bent arrow, if you will, because we learned that Ricky Spanish is not the actual gum spitter after all. What is this stance that Matthews is doing here? Oh my goodness, hello. Fabulous is Reese Matthews. This, of course, being Matthews' first singles championship opportunity this season. As he looks across at that hulking mass, the piercing gaze of Brody Halleck, enough to make any man absolutely petrified. But this is just the beginning, guys. What a hell of a show we have got, including our main event. Anarchy Rules comes early, as we are going to see Maseo Yu and Josh Wolf collide in a non-title matchup. Implications for Anarchy Rules certainly on the line, because the winner of that matchup gets to pick the stipulation of their championship bout in 2 weeks' time. Of course, September 16th, but don't forget that tomorrow, guys, for the boys of Fusion, it is all about Battle Scars 4. You're not going to miss it. The Money in the Bank ladder match, as well as Jacob Zigo putting his Fusion career on the line when he challenges Harvey Hastings for the World Championship. Much, much, much more. But right now, we are live on Genesis, and the International Championship is up for grabs. Back and forth, these two go early on. As I touched on, the last time these two fought, Reese Matthews certainly did not go down easy. And this time, the championship actually on the line. Look at that punch right up under the gut by Brody Halleck. Monstrous. Grabbing Reese around the throat again. Big punch to the gut a second time. Obviously, Brody Halleck has a target early on, being the ribs of the former undisputed champion. Halleck has held that international championship for just over a month now. Back at Ascendant 6, defeated Hannibal in that huge crossover with COH. And what a hell of a match that was. Look at this modified torture rack, guys, using Reese's own arm to choke himself out while the pressure is put on that lower back. I can't even imagine how much that must have hurt right there, but Matthews fights through the pain. Irish Whip now off the ropes. Been over a year since the last time Reese Matthews held championship gold. That, of course, being the World Championship. Matthews is one to pull off a lot of upsets. Remember how he won that World Championship? He beat his mentor, Paul Devine, just a few months into his CMV career. That's why I am not counting out the former undisputed champion here in this one. What's up, Suntan? Couple elbows to the midsection, and now the Tower of Dominance with an Irish Whip into the corner. Brody Halleck cocking up that fist of his, and it is not good news for Reese Matthews, but Matthews knows that, tries to come out of the corner, but gets caught with a nice modified back suplex by the international champion. Let's not forget tonight, guys, it's not just all about that huge main event, but we also have the return. I am so excited of the second annual CMV Tag Team Cup winners, former World Tag Team Champions, voted Tag Team of the Year last year. Eric Thunder, Matt Jefferson, Extreme Conditions, they are back, taking on the debuting Anarchists, former Fusion Tag Team Champions in their own right. So happy to see them back, but will there be ring rust? It's been over a year since the last time we saw them compete alongside each other. Beautiful reversals being showcased by Matthews, but what a wrong time to taunt Reese. Come on, right in the face of the Tower of Dominance like that. Halleck ain't gonna take some disrespect on that level. Big senton, 1, 2, only a 2 count though. Brody Halleck gonna continue his attack now, bringing Reese Matthews over the shoulders. This is, believe it or not, actually Brody Halleck's first defense of the International Championship. He won it at Purgatory, defeating Dallas Steele, and then, of course, went right into that debacle he had with Hannibal, so didn't have any time on the road to Ascendance to defend his championship. So Halleck, we know the bottom line for him is getting that paycheck. He doesn't care about the fame. He doesn't care about the opinion of the fans. He doesn't even really care about the championship. He just has it because he knows it means more money in his pocket. And look at Brody Halleck right here, all the way up and back down again. The 7-foot-tall monstrosity with a hell of a choke slam to retain his international championship here at the top of Genesis number 139, but it's just the 2 count. Brody Halleck seems a bit taken aback by that fact, but closes right back in. Will Reese Matthews feel the sting on his chin of that backpack stunner once again? No, Reese knows what's coming. He did his homework. He remembers the last time these two fought, and now Reese looking for the upset of the century, the former undisputed champion, the total package. Can Reese Matthews do it? Reese with the cradle driver. Oh my God. Has to drag Brody away from the ropes though, make sure the champion doesn't get lucky with the rope break. Now hooks the leg. 1, 2, but just a 2 count. How close was that? Reese Matthews just a second away from becoming the new CMV International Champion. Now I don't know what he's doing. Flailing his arms and legs every which way, trying to get himself hyped up, I suppose. Big elbow drop, kip up. Reese Matthews is feeling it. Brody Halleck's in trouble. The fans are on their feet. Can the former undisputed champion do it, though, for the first time in over a year? Nice rolling neck snap by Matthews. And with Anarchy Rules on the horizon, is the last stop for the Superstars of Genesis, the final pay-per-view of the season for the Genesis Superstars. Reese Matthews with a pelvic thrust, I think, just told Brody Halleck to suck it, as now he's dropped down to the outside with that shoulder thrust. Brody Halleck having a nice trip. Reese Matthews is firmly in control now, guys, after hitting that cradle DDT, even though it wasn't enough to get him the 3 count. Halleck has not been able to recuperate since. He is getting absolutely torn apart here by the former undisputed champion. Elbow to the midsection, though. Halleck ain't done just yet. No, it might not be his choice. And remember, Brody Halleck does have a champion's advantage. Talked about it a little bit earlier this week on Fusion. Alistair Knox retained his United States Championship via count out over Chris Sullivan. Halleck could do the very same thing here. Reese Matthews got to get this fight back into the ring, and he does, luckily. Before it's too late now, Matthews is wasting time again. He's just going to go nuts. Just throwing himself all over the place. But, ooh, a throwback. Face first goes to Halleck off the canvas, guys. Halleck, I think, might be sustained some kind of concussion after that cradle DDT because he has been completely unresponsive, man. Matthews has just been tearing him a new one. And now Reese Matthews with the total package pile driver, but just when we think Brody Halleck is down, the Tower of Dominance busted wide open. Back body drop brings Reese to his feet. Irish whip to the corner. We know what Halleck can go for here. That brutal combination of terrifying strikes in the corner, turning Reese's midsection into hamburger meat. That final strike right up under the jaw, but Reese Matthews still has some life left yet. Kick to the midsection. Jawbreaker, back and forth they go, tit for tat. The International Championship teetering in the balance. Nice counter by Halleck. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Now you got Halleck with his hands on his hips thinking what does he got to do, but he knows exactly what he's got to do. Once again, going to go to the well as he looks to finish things off once and for all. The International Champion with his vintage backpack stunner. Into the pin with a hook in the leg. 1, 2. Wow. And Halleck is a bit miffed. I don't blame him. Reese Matthews kicking out with just a millisecond to spare. Matthews not going down easy. He might be sinking, but he's not completely submerged just yet. Tries to slow things down. Reverse chinlock. Reese Matthews giving Halleck the fight of his life right now here to kick off Genesis. Did Halleck make a mistake issuing this open challenge? Or can he find a way to put Reese Matthews down? Brody Halleck battling up to his feet, elbow to the gut again. Reese Matthews looks a bit weary. Irish whipper to the corner. The total package is looking for something big to keep the Tower of Dominance down. Something really big, something earth-shattering. Tree of woe position and a double knee backstabber. Sends shooting pains up and down Brody Halleck's spine. Lateral press that should be a rope break. But luckily, Halleck kicks out on his own. Bad call there by referee Perry White, if I do say so myself. But Reese in the corner could never dull the total package's spirit. The fans even seem to be on his side. Reese Matthews, after this season of gum investigations, going through hell, can he end the season on a high note? Can he become international champion? Will he be the man to defeat Brody Halleck? Hung up to dry on that top rope. 1, 2. Only a 2 count though. Halleck now stomped down on the lower back. Where is the big man going up to the second turnbuckle? You are not going to see Halleck fly often, but desperate times call for desperate measures. What is Halleck going for here? Big brain chop for the second turnbuckle. That rang Reese Matthews' bell, no doubt about it. Halleck going to capitalize. Irish whip to the corner, and again, going to look for that combination of his. Shattering the ribs into dust. Absolutely brutal strikes, but Matthews, side headlock punch straight to the face, comes up from behind, trying to capitalize. Brody Halleck, hammer fist to the back of the head. My God, just tossing Reese out of that back suplex position. Drops into a lateral press out of exhaustion, but it is going to be a rope break for Matthews as Halleck wipes the blood from his face, gets it out of his eyes, and again, looks for that final nail in the coffin. Reese has no idea what's incoming. Over the shoulders. Swung behind, and that jaw about to come unhinged. Hook up the leg. 1, 2, 3, and Brody Halleck is still the CMV International Champion. What a fight to kick off Genesis number 139. Reese Matthews certainly gave Brody Halleck all that he had and then some. But it is not going to be the night for the former undisputed champion. Halleck remains unbeaten and remains the CMV International Champion. Well, with such a sore loss comes a little bit of good news. Once Reese Matthews wakes up and recuperates, I'm sure he will get the news relayed to him. But I just received word, guys, from General Manager Castle Fave. Of course, we know that at Anarchy Rules in 2 weeks' time, September the 16th, the last pay-per-view of the season for the Genesis Superstars. The Elimination Chamber will take place last week. We found out that Paul Devine, Dule Zaire, Perry Heaton, and D'Angelo Prince would be participants. Well, after that performance, Castle Fave telling me that she is going to give Reese Matthews an opportunity to step foot inside of the Devil's Domain. Remember, the winner of that Elimination Chamber will become #1 contender for the Outlaw World Championship. So while tonight was not Reese's night, maybe Anarchy Rules, maybe if he can survive the Elimination Chamber. So Matthews joining the lineup, still one more spot to be filled, and LaFave has told me that later on tonight we will find out who that last man is, while Halleck leaves bloodied, bruised, but victorious, most importantly. Next team action coming our way. And it is certainly going to be a very interesting scenario when it comes to the hashtag no confidence and Castle Fave brewing rivalry that surely took a step up before the show started. Breaking news as we saw Castle Fave receive a call from the board of directors informing her that they are kind of on the side of hashtag no confidence. And that Pat LaFave arriving last week was there doing Pat LaFave kind of like an agent of theirs, going to be sticking around to make sure Castle Fave makes the correct decisions from here on out. So Castle Fave, obviously, if she didn't take the hashtag no confidence campaign seriously before, she has to now because her job might be on the line. Well, she stressed that enough and now desperately looking for allies, and she found one because we learned earlier tonight that No Fun Martini is now Constable Martini. Castle Fave announcing him as such, giving him that role and giving him the task of finding her some allies to try the no confidence campaign front runners, if you will, and Xander Ortiz, and picking out his partner and none other than the unbeaten blueprint of CMV, Flatters. So it is Xander Slate, Reese Ortiz with Randy Orton ringside, the trios champions, of course, and taking on Flatters and Constable Martini. We know that tomorrow night, Battle Scars 4, the Good Brothers will be defending their trios titles. But unfortunately, earlier this week during Fusion, we thought that Randy Orton was cleared, but it turned out he'll be returning to action soon, but not in time for Battle Scars 4. So while Orton is going to be ringside for his teammates here, he is not going to be able to compete, not tonight and not tomorrow. So once again, Xander Slate and Reese Ortiz going to have to rely on Kevin Silva to team up with them tomorrow night as they defend against the monsters, Mercantile, Guri Sukanov, and Damien. You know, Xander Slate has got to be grinning from ear to ear. He's got to be so happy that the board of directors are actually on their side and having Pat LaFave around as well. But it seemed like No Fun Martini, Constable Martini, had a bit of an idea in mind to combat No Confidence, because he and Cass were talking about it before the cameraman who was in the office was so rudely rushed out, so we didn't get to hear the rest of the conversation. So this is Xander Slayton, Reese Ortiz in action. Randy. The antagonist, he calls himself, Reese Ortiz, has probably been the most vocal of the hashtag No Confidence campaign on Twitter. Reese feeling as though it should be him challenging Josh Wolf at Anarchy Rules for the Alpha World Championship, just as he thought it should be him challenging Chris Andrews at Ascended 6 for the title. And a tweet here, guys, from Tim. Tim LaFave says, change is coming for Genesis. And even though Tim has his own crusade in terms of, having gone after Bob Luger and now having Xander Slayton and Randy Orton in his sights, I'm sure he's got to be feeling some type of way, because it was Pat LaFave who returned last week to confront Tim LaFave right here in the Genesis ring. And now knowing that, his mother's job could be at stake, gotta be, I'm sorry. Well, how am I supposed to know? That was a tweet from Pat LaFave. My bad. Pat LaFave says change is coming soon to Genesis. How do I know all these Twitter handles? So that might even be more ominous. A tweet from Pat saying that. And indeed, change could be coming should the board of directors have the final say in determining that Cass is being biased and maybe should no longer be the general manager of Genesis. That's exactly why Pat is here, to get a first-hand look at how she runs things. But this could certainly be a big ally picked up for Castle Faven. Constable Martini, the blueprint he calls himself, of CMV Flatters, currently unbeaten. Actually, next week right here on Genesis, will be challenging Rob Cross for the light heavyweight championship after defeating D'Angelo Prince last week. And here he comes, No Fun Martini now. Constable Martini, the right hand of general manager Castle Fave, looking to restore order here on Saturday nights. Says he wants to return Genesis to a scene of serenity. Hashtag No Confidence are creating a ruckus, and he hates ruckuses. So here we go, Xander Slayton, Reese Ortiz of the Good Brothers with the injured Randy Orton at ringside, taking on Flatters and Constable Martini. As the referee rings the bell, and we get it on, collar and elbow tie-up out of the gate between Xander Slayton and Flatters. Flatters been so extraordinarily impressive since debuting here in CMV. Currently has not been beaten, and certainly has to be looking forward to that light heavyweight championship opportunity next week I should say. Don't know that the champion Rob Cross is looking forward to that so much, but right now Flatters has got to be, no pun intended, flattered that Castle Fave could possibly consider him an ally in the fight against hashtag No Confidence, and certainly taking it to Xander Slayton out of the gate. Oh, a tweet here, guys, from Adam Valentine says, why doesn't the board of directors get on my side and rehire me instead of giving these spoiled idiots what they want? Adam Valentine still tweeting to this day, even though he was fired like 4 months ago. Xander Slayton slipped out of that submission hold. Tries to get an edge, and he does. Massive spine buster to the blueprint. As you see Constable Martini begging for a tag, and look at the cheeky Xander Slayton right in front of... Oh, but Martini's not having any of that. Xander Slayton, dirty heel tactics, trying to take off that top turnbuckle. Martini just blasted him right in the face. Now that is good teamwork. Well, I'll tell you what, I do not envy the Good Brothers, because in just 24 hours' time at Battle Scars 4, they're going to have to defend their titles. Not even going to have Borton to back them up, having to again rely on Kevin Silva to be a fill-in against a team that altogether weighs over 1,100 pounds, over a ton. Hot tag and Martini in the monsters. Here comes the Constable, head full of steam, double axe handle, big body block, double axe handle again. Oh, look at that though, Randy Orton might be injured, but that doesn't mean he can't try to help out his boys. Reese gonna capitalize, straight jacket German from behind. Stop to the back of the head. Reese does not seem to be done either. Big kick. Gonna send shooting pains up and down that spine. Up to the second turnbuckle he goes. The 4th annual Cyborg Invitational winner looking to fly. Double axe handle. Martini saw it coming though. Must have eyes in the back of his head. Into the corner face first off that top turnbuckle. And again, one more time. Yet again. Just keep smashing Martini's face off that turnbuckle until it's reminiscent of mush. Nasty open hand strikes by Reese Ortiz, guys, and a big tweet coming from our CMV Alpha World Champion. Josh Wolf says, I decided to spend my week off to learn a little bit of Japanese. Dickens can hardly speak English, let alone Japanese, so this is a message only you will understand. And then a sentence in Japanese there that I'm certainly not going to try to pronounce. You can only imagine that it says something not too nice. But of course, Josh Wolf in action for the first time since winning the Alpha World Championship in the main event of Ascendant 6, taking on Masao Yume, the very man he meets in 2 weeks, September the 16th, for the Alpha World Championship, and the man who wins that main event match, and of course getting the advantage to book the stipulation for their title match at Anarchy Rules. Anarchy Rules, of course, the event where every single matchup going to have a stipulation attached to it. We already know that massive elimination chamber going to descend upon the ring and closing 6 superstars inside. Perry Heenan, Paul Devine, Dulazier, D'Angelo Prince, and Reese Matthews, as we just learned, all going to be a part of it. The final man will be revealed later on tonight, as I believe Ortiz just went for his Helluva kick, but Martini able to counter it. Slicks the hair, does Constable Martini for a rolling neck snap. Now to Ortiz, who desperately looks to get the hell out of a dodge. With the tag. Oh! To Xander instead, gets his face slammed into the canvas. Oh my God, look at how bad he's bleeding already. Nasty gash opened up across the forehead of Reese Ortiz. He is gushing blood. And now Martini gonna take the rules into his own hands, choke it out. Ortiz is now, he looks to put on the final touches. Constable Martini off the ropes, curb stomping Ortiz. Straight down into the mat. Hook of the leg, and that'll do her unless Slate can make the save, which he does. Bladders might make him pay for that though. Martini tries to, but Xander Slate quick enough to evade. Get back out into the apron. Well, even though that, oh my God, what? Martini, look at Slate's like, you gotta be kidding me. He can't even look. Another curb stomp directly into the pin. 1, 2, 3, and Constable Martini gets the win for he and Flatters over the hashtag no confidence movement, the Good Brothers. Well, that is certainly got to be feeling good for General Manager Castlefay. Constable Martini putting down Reese Ortiz with 2 curb stomps in a row. And look how Slate couldn't even look. He threw up his hands. He was like, oh, geez, this is it. I'm not even going to try to break up that pin. And I think it was a good strategy by Slate because they've got a much more important match at Battle Scars 4 in just 24 hours. Doesn't want Ortiz risking injury. I mean, he's already got that huge cut on his forehead that surely will play a factor tomorrow night. But for Constable Martini and Flatters, hell of a victory indeed. Great momentum for Flatters heading into that light heavyweight championship match against Rob Cross next week. Well, guys, the act continues here on episode 139 of Saturday Night Genesis, and certainly going to be an exciting matchup to bear witness to. Up next, the Genesis debut, guys, of Mills. And he takes on a man he has been butting heads with ferociously on Twitter these past. Mr. Extreme, of course, Mills has been super vocal about how he blames Mr. Extreme for costing him the Money in the Bank ladder match, his grand CMV debut at the Show of Shows. And they've been going back and forth, just trading shots after shot after shot. Well, now they're going to get the opportunity to put their phones down and square out to one another, because it is Mills versus Mr. Extreme right here next. Let's not forget what an awesome show we still have to come. The return, guys, of Extreme Conditions. I can't be more excited, as well as that massive main event that has got a lot on the line pertaining to Anarchy Rules, because Maseo, Hume, Josh Wolf, whoever wins will get to pick the stipulation of their title match at the pay-per-view. And there he is, the 7-foot-tall mastodon, and Mills, who made a impact at Ascendant 6, debuting as a surprise 8th participant in the Money in the Bank ladder match. You know, Mills has also been not afraid to go after the Money in the Bank winner, El Jefe, saying that he is soon going to fry him up some fish. But right now, he's got to focus on Mr. Extreme. Now, I don't know how you take one look at Mills and you are not absolutely terrified. I certainly would not want to be in Mr. Extreme's shoes tonight, but Mr. Extreme always up to the challenge. This is Mills' Genesis debut. More than this trying to shut up a foe, and Extreme wants to make an impact. Yeah, certainly Mills took it to a whole other level just a couple of days ago on Twitter. These two were going back and forth. Mills ended up bringing up Mr. Extreme's wife. And that is something that Extreme will not abide. The badass mofo who loves to take it to the extreme, just looking to use his own 2 hands to silence Mills tonight. Mr. Extreme, an NGW alumni, and for Mr. Extreme, this is just his second Genesis match. Debuted at a Fatal 4-Way the Genesis before Ascendant 6. No, this is his third Genesis match, excuse me, because he was a part of that triple threat last week. He actually wasn't the one pinned. It was Reese Matthews who ended up pinning Perry Heenan. Mr. Extreme is eager to prove himself. And Mr. Extreme himself kind of feels like he let a lot of people down at Ascendant 6 with how that Money in the Bank ladder match ended. I think Mills is taking it, no pun intended, to the extreme with how he's putting all the blame on Extreme. I mean, oh, surprising. But wait a minute. I think I just saw Mills spit right in Extreme's face, feigning sportsmanship there with that handshake. And to be completely honest, I don't think Extreme should have fell for that. A little bit of his own fault there, but now Mills is going to pay for it anyway. Mills looking for a little bit of last-second mind game, spitting right in Extreme's face. And using his own head now to bash Mills' skull in. Trip up, and Extreme might have just gotten his front teeth knocked out. Hook to the leg, or hook to the leg, hook to the jaw. I mean, right out of the gate, you got to talk about the size difference between these two. Mills is just massive. The reason I referred to him as the Mastodon. Look at this. Probably has nearly a foot on Mr. Extreme. Certainly probably has 100+ pounds. But like I said, Extreme does not back down from a challenge, no matter the odds stacked against him. That might have been one of the most beautiful reversals I've ever seen. What a hellacious lariat. Chopping down Extreme, putting the pressure on his chest. You can see he's having trouble breathing already. Early on, that is not, I mean, it's never good news if you can't breathe, but especially in a wrestling match. Extreme looks to already be rocked. That spit in the face certainly got inside of his head. Short arm clothesline. Pulling a little bit of a Brit. Not just one and done, two, and here's three. Mills goes for a scoop slam. Mr. Extreme drops down behind those. Stomp to the quad. Oh! Extreme! I believe just went for something big there, but Mills able to see it coming, sensed that he was going to be in a spot of trouble. Sent down though by Extreme, though his big move got countered. Staying on top of things, that's what you gotta do. Stay focused. Don't let the mind games get to you. And Extreme on the second attempt now, setting up this massive pump handle driver of his. Vintage Extreme. No time wasted either. Extreme looks to welcome Mills to Genesis with a hefty L. Mills not gonna let that happen though. Counters the grapple attempt, slaps the temple, stunning Mills momentarily. Dragged by the arm and leg, and Extreme looks for a desperation pin. Hooks that tree trunk of a leg, but only gets a 1 count. Forearms right across the forehead. Extreme is feeling it. The fans most definitely backing him. Oh! Nasty takedown by the judo giant. Something that maybe we haven't talked about enough, but Mills is proficient in judo. You can see that black belt he wears proudly around his waist. He's not just a big man. He's not just stronger than you. Mills is a brutal striker as well. You definitely don't want to mess around with him on the mat either. Really, there's no advantage you could have over Mills. Mr. Extreme is certainly realizing that, I think, right now. Look at this, another trio of short arm clotheslines. Mr. Extreme looks to be completely out of it. Eyes glazed over. I'd be surprised if he even has any idea where he is right now. And Mills with, oh my God, what a spear. A gargantuan-sized spear. 1, 2, but just a 2 count, even still. Extreme looks to be completely out of it. Oh, the Extreme cutter! Out of nowhere! Wow! Mr. Extreme taking that spear in stride. Extreme cutter then flips off Mills. This is why I am an Extreme fan. Mills is rocked. Extreme knows it. Rebounds out of the corner. Forearm smash. Nice bulldog. Mills brought to a vertical base. Here comes Extreme again with the pump handle driver. Still no pin to try to get the job done. Extreme knows he's gonna have to hit something big in order to keep down the judo giant. That's exactly what he's gonna try for, but Mills might be a bit quicker. Back and forth they go, tit for tat. 1999 up in here. You can tell a reversal fest is brewing. Knife edge chop blocked by Mills. My God, I've never seen more reversals in my life. Finally, Extreme gets the upper hand with a clothesline. 1, 2, just a 2 count. What a great match these two are putting on. Brought up to his feet, and Extreme. What does he have on the back burner for Mills? Puts him in the corner. Mills catches him, gut wrench suplex. Oh, dropped right down onto his side. But Mills, sensing that this matchup is getting away from him, another earth-shattering spear might have just broken every single rib in Mr. Extreme's body. 1, 2. Are you kidding me? Mr. Extreme kicking out of a second spear. Well, he might have done the unthinkable. Mr. Extreme trying to clasp on to life, keep himself afloat, but how much does he have left? Off the ropes. Nice. Complete shot. Extreme letting the CM Universe know that he is not done. Irish Ripper to the corner, man. Extreme needs something massive here to turn. Wait a minute. Don't tell me that Extreme is about to do what I think he's about to do. This isn't going to win him the match. This is just to send a message. Superplex to the outside of the ring. Mamma mia. 10 feet plus from the top rope to the outside. And I think I heard every single bone in Mr. Extreme's body crack. Absolutely archaic by Mr. Extreme. Now throws him back into the ring. Mills, understandably so, completely motionless, like a limp. Oh! Noodle right now, unable to move, and then a hangman's neck breaker from the apron to the outside to boot, but Mills, just out of nowhere, snaps back too. I mean, if a superplex from the top rope to the outside of the ring does not keep you down, what will? Maybe this, Mr. Extreme, pump handle driver a third time. Does Extreme have it? Doesn't try it for the pin though, and I think that might be the biggest mistake Extreme has on numerous occasions made in this match. He's not going for pins. I think he's more concerned with hurting Mills, making sure that he never talks about his wife again. Never talks ill of his family. But Mills is going to use that against him. Tries for a single underhook. Face buster. Mills counters it into a clothesline. Tries for a pin. Only a 2 count. These two rookies putting on a show stealer. Mr. Extreme needed the gut. And Extreme tried to shoot his shot there. Mills instead going to greet him to that top turnbuckle a good 11 times, I think I counted there. Mr. Extreme's face reminiscent of roadkill as Mills now, not just 1, not just 2, but 3 single knee backbreakers. My God. And Mills revving up now. You can tell the energy is coursing through his veins. Mills for a third time. What's he looking for now? Shades of the Hall of Famer Dave Turner. Burning hammer by the Judo Giant. 1, 2, 3. All right. Get the hell out of here. My reaction is the same as Mills. How did Mr. Extreme... What? He's already taken 2 spears, just kicked out of a burning hammer? This is more than a match for Extreme. The pride of his family is on the line. 4th time hits that pump handle driver. Extreme cutter again. Mr. Extreme, does he have it? He's got to take this opportunity, man. I don't think he's going to get it again. Oh my God. Mills put up to the high rank district. This is a 7-foot tall, 300+ pound man. And Mr. Extreme, wait a minute. Do not tell me he's about to do it. I think he's going to do pedigree from the top rope. Oh my God. 1, 2. I have no words. I have no words. Mr. Extreme just hit Mills with a pedigree from the top rope, and it did not keep Mills down. Let's not forget about the superplex to the outside of the ring that Extreme hit earlier, by the way. I don't see either one of these guys leaving this matchup without an injury. How the hell did Mills just kick out of that? Literally a face buster from the top rope. Mills just continuing to try and psych himself up here against Extreme, but at this point in the match, Extreme's got to be racking his own brain, wondering, is there anything that I can do to win this match? Look at that power. Seatbelt, belly-to-belly suplex. Extreme launched through the air, nearly out of the ring. And here again with this trio of single knee backbreakers. Is Extreme ever going to walk the same way again? Is he ever going to walk again? Spinning soul kick though, Extreme. He's got a hell of a heart. But even the mightiest of hearts eventually stop beating, and I don't know how these two guys are still standing. Mills has hit Extreme with 2 spears and a burning hammer. Extreme has hit Mills with a superplex to the outside of the ring and a top rope pedigree, which I believe he's continuing to try and go for again. But Mills now knows look out for, and continues to counter. Desperation pin, just a 2 count. Rebounds off the ropes, double axe handle. And Mills obviously is a bigger man. His stamina game is not going to be as well as much of the smaller opponents like Mr. Extreme. The longer this matchup goes, if you ask me, the more it's going to benefit Extreme. And that's exactly what we might see come to fruition right here. Extreme, what is he going to try for? Oh my God, looks like a slapjack. Could this finally be it? Into the pin. 1, 2. Oh my, dude, come on. Are you kidding me? Extreme arguing with Perry White. If I was in his shoes, I would certainly be arguing. Where is this time limit draw? Both these guys refusing to die. This is ridiculous. This is the most ridiculous match I've ever seen. Both these guys just do not want to lose to the other. Don't want to give them the satisfaction. I'm at a loss for words. Dear Lord, now what is this? Huge scoop slam from Mills. Even that is not enough to keep Extreme down. Tries to clap the temples. And here's Mills, surely with a second burning hammer. Surely there is no way that Extreme kicks out of this. It's not possible. Mills not even going to go for the pin. Well, it gets to the pin late, but come on. 1, 2, 3, and Mills, after all of that, after going through the meat grinder, my God. I mean, don't get it twisted. I don't think either one of these men are really winners. Their bodies are never going to be the same after this. I mean, I don't even know the correct word to describe what we just saw. A war? It's just an absolute, I don't know. All I do know is that Mills is the quote-unquote winner. And, man, I certainly hope that both of them are going to be okay, because Mr. Extreme, man, I don't know. It does not look good. Just think about what Mills took in that match. A suplex to the outside of the ring, a top rope pedigree. If that did not keep him down, whatever is going to. Something tells me Mills is going to be quite the reckon with here on Genesis going forward. Mr. Extreme, the first of many victims, I'm going to assume. This is the fourth match of the night. So, yep, so far we saw oh, this is how bad my memory is. I don't remember what the first match was. Oh yeah, Brody Halleck retaining the international title against Reese Matthews, which was a really good match. And then we saw Constable Martini, along with Flatters, defeat the Good Brothers and Xander Slate and Reese Ortiz. We just saw, I mean, definitely a show stealer, I'll say that, but not in like a technical sense. I mean, those two guys just beat the holy bejesus out of each other. I'm going to be interested to get the medical report on those two. But now we get into our fourth match of the night. And I am excited to see what Dylan Vincent brings to the table, an NGW alumni making his Genesis debut here. Called up during the draft last week. Still to come, we got the return, guys, of Extreme Conditions. Nearly a year since the last time we saw them together. I am looking forward to that. And, of course, our main event. Huge implications on the line when it comes to Anarchy Rules. Maseo Yoon battles Josh Wolf, the winner, gaining the advantage to pick the stipulation for their title bout in 2 weeks, September the 16th. But guys, we go into this matchup, some huge news. We know that at Anarchy Rules, an elimination chamber has been announced where the winner will become the #1 contender for the Alpha World Championship heading into next season. Last week we learned that Paul Devine, Dule Zaire, Perry Heenan, D'Angelo Prince will be a part of it. Earlier tonight, we learned that Reese Matthews the fifth, the sixth and final man. Announced by Casa Fave, none other than this guy right here. Impressing Casa Fave so much with his win over the #1 contender to the Alpha World Championship, Maseo Yoon, last week, that Cass is giving Babos the chance to step foot inside of the Devil's Domain. What an opportunity. Certainly going to be the dark horse is Babos. The wrench thrown in the gears, if you will. So that rounds it out, guys. That's the six, the unholy six. So we get a handshake here at the start. Always nice to see that. Babos has nothing against Dylan Vincent. Why would he? And then they're going to start in the same corner. So that is, I just took a look at that lineup. Paul Devine, who is the only man of the six who's going to have prior Elimination Chamber match experience. You've got Dule Zaire, who I think might be equally as much of a dark horse as Angelo Babos is. You got Perry Heenan, D'Angelo Prince, Reese Matthews, and Angelo Babos. That is the six who will step foot inside of the Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks. So now Babos, knowing he's got the biggest match of his career just a few weeks away, coming off the biggest win of his career last week over Maseo Yoon. Of course, the night didn't end so well for him. Didn't get the chance to celebrate because Yoon would beat the high holy hell out of him afterwards. You know, I'm sure Babos, in the back of his mind, making up all these scenarios, hoping that he wins the Elimination Chamber, that Yoon wins the Alpha World title so that he can try and get some payback because he knows he can beat Maseo Yoon. A lot of things have to fall in place for that to happen, though. And right now, Angelo Barros has got to focus on Razor Blade Dylan Vincent, because Vincent is most definitely no pushover. Hell of a competitor. He was very impressive in his time in NGW, obviously so much so that Castlefade decided to give him a contract here with Genesis. Jawbreaker. Nice Northern Light suplex, though, by Dylan Vincent to fire back. Brought into a head scissors. Vincent fires off elbow, elbow again, and a third time. DDT. A lot of interactions I'm going to love to see inside of that Elimination Chamber. We know that Angelo Barros and D'Angelo Prince have a lot of history between each other. I'd love to see just a random, like, want that I just got. Barros going up against Divine, and how about that reversal? It takes a special kind of competitor to take a knee to the face and immediately fire back. Dylan Vincent going for some sort of Shining Wizard combination, but Barros with split-second thinking. Amazing reflexes, and now the Outlaw. We've seen him knock off opponents this before. Big forearm smash, cleaning Vincent's clock. Out of the corner now, Angelo Barros has Vincent in perfect position for that devastating buzzsaw kick right across the head. 1, 2, just a 2 count though. Early on, Barros thought he had it. Nearly sitting as a life flash before his eyes. That knee to the face of the quarter, but Barros goes up high. Looks to fly through the air. Some fan in the front row wearing a Masao Yoon t-shirt. Barros not happy about it. Gets off that savant kick though, beautifully executed. And Dylan Vincent has not been able to snap back to after taking that buzzsaw kick. If I were Barros, I'd probably just go for the pin again. Vincent looking worse for wear. Maybe trying to play possum though. Hook to the jaw. Vincent coming up from behind. I mean, this is the Genesis debut of Dylan Vincent. He doesn't want to go down so easy. He had the chance to impress General Manager Castlefade and the CMV Universe. Maybe many of who don't know who he is because they didn't watch NGW. Couple of clotheslines. Super kick. Catching Barros off guard, and Vincent now goes to the top rope. Guys, Vincent from time to time likes to pull off this beautiful red arrow. Phenomenally pulled off, but Barros takes it with a pinch of salt. I'm sure his ribs have got to be feeling some type of way, but for now, going to try to block out that pain. Can't block out that swinging reverse STO though. Lights out for Angelo Barros. And Vincent, 1, 2, 3. Knocking off the Outlaw. Dylan Vincent, man, it was looking shaky there for a minute, but Vincent has arrived to Saturday nights. Barros gave a hell of a fight. But after last week, after defeating Yum, he was riding a high, and then that high was just quickly shot down when Masao Yum brutally attacked him. But Barros knows that in 2 weeks he will step foot inside of the Elimination Chamber. All of this is not going to matter when Anarchy Rules arrives, because Barros, as the dark horse, could shock us all, walk into next season as the #1 contender for the Alpha World Championship. But for tonight, he gets caught off guard. Look at that right there. Bam! You don't get up from that. Huge victory for Razor Blade. Dylan Vincent certainly excited about such a phenomenal win. Great match, and I'm excited to see what comes next for Vincent, but I'm even more excited to see how Angelo Barros takes this loss and how he tries to push forward after it. For Mr. Great Moment. Sorry about that, guys. Getting a quick drink of water. As anyway, from Mr. Extreme, and he says, I may have lost. I'll admit I made some mistakes in that match, but it won't happen again. This is not over between me and Mills. I want him at Anarchy Rules. Falls count anywhere. I'm surprised Mr. Extreme is even able to tweet. I'm surprised both his hands aren't shattered into a million pieces. His spine is snapped in half. But Mr. Extreme has got some balls on him because he's not just going to take that loss and walk away. He knows he made some mistakes. He let his emotions get the better of him, but challenges Mills to a rematch at Anarchy Rules and wants it to be falls count anywhere. Oh, we'll see how Mills feels about that challenge. But here we go, my friends. The show goes on as they our tertiary main event. Some more tag team action. And I cannot wait. Not only am I a fan of these two men, Crow and Caleb Reed, former Fusion Tag Team Champions, the Anarchists drafted over from Fusion to Genesis, making their debuts tonight, but also they're up against the second annual Tag Team Cup winners, guys. Former World Tag Team Champions, voted Tag Team of the Year last year. The reunited, and it feels oh so good. Extreme Conditions. And this matchup, not just any normal run-of-the-mill tag team match, because I did receive word from Castlefleet earlier tonight, guys, that the winner of this match is going to face the ATL next week on Genesis, where the winners of that match will then go on to challenge the Forsaken for the World Tag Team titles at Anarchy Rules. And that is exactly what the Anarchists are chasing after. Not even a minute back here on Genesis, and they were calling out the Forsaken, saying they're coming for those titles. Well, if they can get over these two men, Eric Thunder, Matt Jefferson, Extreme Conditions, they will be one step closer. Been nearly a year since the last time these two men shared a ring. A legendary tag team here in CMV. But they are back for one final run. And they have made their intentions very clear that they aren't going to waste any time going after those World Tag Team titles they once held for the majority of last season. They dominated the Genesis Tag Team division. So here we go. Going to be Crow starting things off against Eric Thunder. And a fun fact, still guys, today, Eric Thunder has never been beaten in singles competition. Never. Never. Mr. Thunder competed as a singles guy at the top of this season for a few months. He's even a part of that Rage and a Cage back at Exodus, but then took his leave as well. About 6 months on the shelf. He and Matt Jefferson now back together, looking to storm the Genesis Tag Team division once again and stake their claim to being one of the best tag teams of all time in CMV history. Inverted atomic drop. Oof. Going after the shoulder there of Crow. Again, guys, the winners of this match will face the ATL next week in a #1 contenders match for the World Tag Team titles. We'll meet the Forsaken for the belts at Anarchy Rules in 2 weeks. Single knee gutbuster. Crow, though, going to fire off with a nasty Uranagi slam. Anarchists, I feel as though they are very underrated tag team. The former Fusion Tag Team Champions. Crow, as a singles competitor, is a former Anarchy champion, CMV veteran. They have such a great tandem, work so well together as a team. And you see that Matt Jefferson wants to get that tag from Eric Thunder. Crow doing a very good job, though, of staying on top of things, not allowing Thunder to slip away from him. Gonna drag him all the way back to his quarter, but Eric Thunder fights out of it. Elbow to the gut again, elbow to the gut a third time. Eric Thunder very wily. Ooh, sit out, gourd buster by Thunder, but right there, hot tag. Oh man, just about made it. That was so close. We don't body shame here, and CMV, Crizzy, all right? By the way, Crizzy, stick around, because co-main event up next. It's going to be a match you're going to want to see. Irish through to the corner, though, tag to Matt Jefferson, and yeah, I've always been a big MJ fan, the extremist, and look at this tag team tandem. I've been waiting for it. Show 450 splash. Here comes Jefferson from the top rope with a moonsault. We are getting more bang for your buck. Genesis number 139, Extreme Conditions are back. And looking to reclaim their throne. I think that the type of body Eric Thunder has helped him, because I actually just talked about it a few seconds ago. He's very wild. He's so hard to get your hands on. He's so quick. And then that works so well. Matt Jefferson, who's very beefy, very big, strong. A dream match I would love to see. Mr. Extreme versus Matt Jefferson. In an Extreme Rules match. Got to get that at some point, but right now it's all about the World Tag Team titles for these two teams as the fight now spills to the outside. Oh no, double axe handle right to the upper back. And it worked the first time, why not again? Keep your ears open, though. Referee at a count of 6. This matchup can end via count out. Count of 7, and it looks like Matt Jefferson. This isn't something I'm used to seeing from Extreme Conditions. With such an opportunity on the line, I guess you'll take a win when you can get it. Can Caleb get up in time? Guys, at a count of 8. He's got 2 seconds to get back in the ring. 9. Can Caleb get up? I don't think so. 10. Extreme Conditions defeating the Anarchists via countout here in their grand return. Well, I guess this isn't the same Extreme Conditions we once knew, because I would never expect them to do something like that. Extreme Conditions live for competition, but maybe the allure of the World Tag Team titles means more, because now Extreme Conditions have a date next week with the ATL, and the winners of that match will get a shot at the Forsaken and the World Tag Team titles at Anarchy Rules. I would have liked to see more, but what are you going to do? The rules are the rules. Count out victory for Extreme Conditions. The Anarchists are not going to be happy about that. Chris Sancher's going to meet these two in the back with a couple of lagers. It's a legit way to win, mates. I sound like a pirate. Where's Britt that we've all been waiting for? Well, guys, up next, it is co-main event time. It's certainly going to be a very interesting competition here between the debuting Kevin Vulture and Dule Zaire. And Zaire's life right now has got to be just a roller coaster of emotions, a lot of ups and downs over just the course of a few weeks. Of course, the Descendants' best friend, tag team partner, Brett Angel, finally defeated the Good Brothers. And at the show of shows, can you imagine, finally, after all season long, getting just knocked down again and again and again by your arch rival, Brawl, when it matters most. But then Dule Zaire and Brett Angel seem to have a bit of a falling out when the topic of Brandon Rain was brought up, because we know that Brett Angel's wife was killed by a drunk driver, and Dule Zaire seemed to want to help Brandon Rain, go to Fusion and help Rain, but Bright Angel did not want to. They got got very heated between the two. And then Zaire gets the news that he's going to be a part of the Elimination Chamber match at Anarchy Rules in a couple of weeks with the opportunity to become #1 contender of the Alpha World Championship. I can't imagine how Dule Zaire can be feeling right now, but he had better try and get focused because he is not up against some Joe Schmo right now. Kevin Vulture. Of course, we saw a brief look at him during the 3rd annual Slick B Memorial Battle Royal. Now we're going to get to see how he actually moves around the ring. This is a beefy boy. Just take a look at him. Kevin Vulture's your daddy. This is going to be a battle of the thickest right here. Well, let's not forget, up next in our main event, huge implications for Anarchy Rules as the pay-per-view comes early. Masao Yum battles Alpha World Champion Josh Wolf, where the winner will get to pick the stipulation for their title bout on September the 16th. I'm sorry, Chrissy, but that's just how it be sometimes. What? I'd say Matt Jefferson is a bit thick. When are we going to get that thick division? Where's the thick world championship? Well, Kevin Vulture is a seasoned veteran around the world. He has seen his fair share of fights. Now looks to bring his expertise, his history to CMV, make his final run in an Impact. What is up, Jack of the Jones, my friend? Welcome to CMV Genesis number 139. We are in the co-main. Kevin Vulture making his Genesis debut as he takes on the freshly shaved Dule Zaire. See my reflection all the way from over here. My goodness, that chrome dome shining bright. I'm sorry, Zaire. Hopefully he doesn't come over here and try to smack me up. Zaire steps foot for the first time in his career inside of the demonic Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks. There's truly no way you could prepare for Elimination Chamber. Really, the only thing that can get you ready for it is having prior experience. The only man of the 6 that does being Paul Devine. For Dule Zaire, Perry Heenan, D'Angelo Prince, Reese Matthews, and Angelo Babos, it will be their first time. But with the opportunity on the line, the winner of that chamber heading into next season as #1 contender for the Alpha World Championship. These superstars ready and willing to endure the torments that will be inflicted upon them inside the chamber. Because that's what it's all about at the end of the day in CMV and in the wrestling world as a whole, to become world champion, to be the best of the best, the face that runs the place, the champ that runs the camp. Let's see how Zaire welcomes Kevin Vulture to Saturday Night Genesis. Vulture, Zaire, mano a mano, Juan on Juan, if you will, as referee Perry White rings that bell. We're going to get it on. 2 thick boys, but Kevin Vulture is certainly the taller. Probably has easily half a foot here on Zaire. See how Zaire tries to battle that fact. Zaire, I've always talked about how much of a phenomenal competitor he is. Don't let his size fool you, because as much as he is on the thick... Oh, that was a cool spot. Both men going for a clothesline, taking each other out. As much as he is a bigger guy, Zaire is just incredibly athletic. He's one of those guys that just defies the odds. Like a Keith Lee comes to mind. I mean, you just scratch your head. You don't know how Zaire does the kind of things that he does. Kevin Vulture, from what I know about him, from what I've seen the brief time that I've been around him, very rugged style, very in your face. Going up to that second turnbuckle as he rallies for Zaire to get up to his feet. Gonna fly. Brain chop, simple but effective. Trying to crack that skull of Zaire, beckoning for Zaire to get up to his feet. Going to use the ropes to try to pull himself to a vertical base, but Zaire still seems to be a bit out of it. Vulture going to capitalize on that, knocking him down to the outside. Look at this now. Huge elbow drop. Kevin Vulture got to be nearing, if not surpassing, 300 pounds. Zaire, for being a bigger guy, is also short as well, so I don't know Zaire's exactly. He keeps that very secret. Every time I've asked him, he's changed the topic pretty quickly, but if I had to guess, I'd probably put him around maybe 270, 280. Ducks the clothesline, gets one though anyway. In this fight on the outside, we're going to get another count out. Back to back here in the co-main event. Kevin Vulture wants to debut, wants to leave his mark. Okay, come on though. Zaire is not 185 pounds, I'm being told by some specter here. Well, count of 8. Kevin Vulture gonna rush back to the ring. Zaire follows 9. That was as close of a call as you can get, but Vulture gets Dulé by surprise, slamming him into the corner. Then a massive power slam in the center of the ring. Only a 1 count off the pin attempt, though. Topper, you just staring at that ass? Looking at that ass, boy? Scoop slam. Vulture drops down behind. Punch to the back of that chrome dome. The base of the skull in the corner. And look at that. That just tells you Kevin Vulture is so old school. When do you see that ever? Just dragging Zaire face first across the top rope. Rope burn. Right across the forehead. That is some old school-ish. And now a spear. A lot of big guys doing spears tonight. But Vulture wasting no time. No flies on the veteran of the craft. And wait a minute. I think we are about to get a crucifix power bomb, and mama mia, the way that Zaire's head just bashed right off the canvas. Drops into the pin with the hook of the leg. 1, 2, but only a 2 count. Zaire clenches his teeth. Able to survive for now. I would love to see Britt standing backstage, just complimenting everyone's ass as they walk by. There's Kevin Vulture again with that power slam, and Zaire's going to have to do something major within the next couple of seconds to turn this match around, because so far, Kevin Vulture has been, dare I say, dominating. Nearly had Zaire beat there just about a minute ago off that crucifix powerbomb. Zaire, not one to go down easy. Might not have the best record, but Zaire consistently puts on amazing matches. Has a hell of a heart, but having a good heart ain't gonna win you matches. But this might. Zaire tossing Vulture across the ring. Beautiful. That's awesome. Rolling Thunder into a body splash. And now Zaire has his gun locked and loaded, finger on the trigger as he looks for the last laugh. Down for the count. Zaire hooks the leg. 1, 2. But Vulture not going to go down so easy. Zaire, though, fortunate enough, has enough left in the reserves. Keeps the attack on. Northern Light suplex. What a bridge that was. Not to try to pin, but just showing off, I think, a little bit. Clothesline. Clothesline again. Vulture refusing to stay down. Now looks for refuge in the corner. Not going to find another clothesline. Rebounds off the ropes. Ducks the clothesline. Off the ropes. Nope. Big leaping lariat. And a kip up this late in the matchup. Zaire with that athleticism I talked about. Uh-oh. Headbutt. Vulture fighting back. The superstar can always sense when a match is getting away from them. And that's when they get desperate again. Ooh! Tried for that rolling thunder body splash again. This time Vulture was ready for him. Double knees to the gut. And Vulture, a second time, has Zaire crucified. Nearly knocking Perry Heenan out of the ring. It was so impactful. 1, 2. Zaire with an impressive performance. So much so Kevin Vulture couldn't believe it. I thought he was about to rough up the official here. Got right in his face. Zaire using that ball ahead of his jawbreaker. Staggers Vulture, but able to come back quick enough to get the advantage over Zaire, who's now put up onto the top rope. The high rank district, certainly not a place that you want to be. Vulture is looking for something deadly like a tornado bomb. Mamma mia. Cyborg is the CEO. Oh no, don't tell me. Vulture, dirty heel pin. Referee does not see it. Oh, but luckily Zaire knows all those kind of tricks. Able to save himself from an unfortunate finish to what's been a great match. Snake Eyes Zaire, hook of the leg to pin. Just gets himself a 1 count though. To put down Vulture, what's it going to take from Zaire? Win or lose, I got to say, I'm very impressed with Kevin Vulture. But what do you expect? It might be his debut in CMV, but talked about it a little bit. World travel, a veteran, on the older side, and knows that his career doesn't have a whole lot, longer left. Wants a big run in the biggest company around, CMV, to make a name for himself, to become a legend. Choke slam from Kevin now. Lateral press to pin. Just collapsed into that pin, by the way. I don't even think it was intentional. Only gets a 2 count, though. Brought up into a seated position, man. Zaire does not look too good, I gotta say. Forearm smash to lower back, though. Pulls him in for a waist-side slam. Hooks that leg to catch Kevin Vulture off guard. Will it be enough? No, just about, but not quite there. And it's Zaire who now is arguing with referee Perry White. Of course, Zaire and Brett Angel have had their problems with the referee in the past. No, it's been longer than that. Ascendance 3 was Cyborg. Oh, no, I forgot. Yeah, you're right. I forgot he faced DSD. You're right. About a year ago then. I think that was not this past implosion, but the implosion before that. Spear again by Vulture. But now Zaire, all he needed was one little tiny opening, one minuscule opportunity, but Vulture takes it from him. Was looking for the last laugh again. What a reversal, but back and forth they go, man. You can, it's like it's in the air. You can sense that the end is nigh. Both these guys want nothing more than to get this victory. Kevin Vulture is his debut. He wants to send a message to the Genesis locker room. He wants to prove himself to those who might not know him in the CM universe. Dula Azair wants to gain momentum ahead of the Elimination Chamber match at Anarchy Rules. The biggest match without a doubt of his CMV career. Well, they say the third time is the charm. This worked once in this match for Zaire. It failed the second time, but the third time it is successful. Zaire barely able to get up to his feet afterwards, though. But that's okay. Takes a deep breath, and once again, we await to see if he can get it. The last laugh. Vulture is down. Zaire to the pin. 1, 2. Are you joking? We're going to get another one of these matches. We're going to get another Mills Mr. Extreme. Zaire's just getting more and more aggressive with referee Perry White. Got in his face that time. Oh my God. Both these guys. Yeah, you'd think both of them being bigger men, their stamina probably isn't all that. Whoa! That was awesome. What a reversal by Vulture. Uh-oh. Wait a minute, Zaire! Dirty heel tactics just raked the eyes of Kevin Vulture as he was looking for, I believe, a choke bomb. Vertical suplex into a back suplex. This match might rival Mills Mr. Extreme for match tonight. Of course, certainly, Maseo Yum, Josh Wolf could steal the show, but Zaire, oh, come on, went for the last lap again, and Vulture counted it the second time in this match, but there we go, sends it right back. Neither one of these guys able to maintain control for very long. Twisting scoop slam. I love old school movesets. You know, carrying himself in the ring like it's back in the olden days, and Kevin Vulture certainly is fun to watch so far. Maybe that'll be enough to do it. Just maybe. So close. Vulture again getting into his own head. What do I gotta do? What do I gotta do? Has to stay on top of things. Cannot allow Zaire to catch his breath. Colossal knee across the head. Now Vulture wants to slow things down in the deep end. Trying to catch his breath while ensuring that Zaire doesn't try anything. Very classic chin lock. And Zaire can't seem to find a way to escape. Just as I say that, there's that jawbreaker again. Biting his own lip. I think I see a little bit of blood dripping out. Forearm smash at close range up against the ropes. Zaire's cooking up something big. Kevin Vulture, though, ain't hungry. Might not have a choice. Zaire gonna force it down his throat. Arm drag, scoop slam. Vulture drops down behind, reverse DDT. Uh-oh. Vulture went for something that might be enough to end this match, but Zaire, perhaps the last-ditch effort, a clutch, belly to belly. Can't stand, look at that. Not even aware of the fact that he just went for a pin, probably. Come on. Can Zaire get it? Can he do it? Oh, what? What happened there? Oh, wait, there it is! The last laugh! The last laugh, numero tres. And surely the cat is out of the bag. 1, 2. Oh. Zaire is pissed. This is far beyond miffed. This is pissed. Zaire's not happy. Oh my God. Both men, look at it. It looks like someone dipped Zaire in a tank of water. From a wait. Zaire. Rolling Thunder body splash. Zaire taking a look around. They don't pay me enough for this. Zaire probably in the back of his mind thinking about just going back to his bar, calling it a day. But come on. By the grace of the gods, a fourth last laugh by Zaire. Center of the ring. Hooks the leg. Uno, dos. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Oh my God. And Zaire now to the apron, changing up his game plan. Slingshot spear. Zaire looking out to the sea of CMV fans here in attendance for Genesis number 139. Running his hands across his bald head. I've never seen more sweat in my days of calling CMV action. Another elbow drop. Zaire beside himself. Beating the hell out of the canvas now. The canvas versus Dulazaire. Hashtag confirmed for Ascendant 7. There's that wayside slam again. Zaire's just got to keep the pedal to the pedal to the what? The pedal to the metal. Hat suplex, Zaire. a fifth last laugh, a fifth. Come on, man. Kevin Vulture, you gotta know when to call it quits, my friend. You gotta know. Oh, please, not gonna go for the pin. Oh, yes, he is. Does he have it? 1, 2, 3. Dooley Zaire. Oh, Kevin Vulture's career might be over after his debut. Because, my God, if he doesn't have an injury to his ribs or lower back or something, I will be astonished. Well, Kevin Vulture somehow back to his feet. And after a match like that, how can you not show respect? Vulture issues a handshake. Zaire going to accept. Zaire is as ready as he ever will be. That was certainly a hell of a test in preparation for the Elimination Chamber. But as I said before, I don't think anybody can really prepare for a chamber on prior Swift does not. My goodness, sure. Welcome to Genesis. Nah, it wasn't in Japan. Can't be 5 stars. But we are going to get a little piece of Japan here in our main event because the Japanese bulldozer, Masao Yum, is in action going one-on-one with the CMV Alpha World Champion Josh Wolf. Wolf in action for the first time since winning off of Chris Sand. Brutal 30-minute Iron match in the main event of Ascendant 6. Josh, of course, was not cleared. This match was supposed to take place last week, but was not cleared by the medical crew. Had to take another week. Now he is fully ready to go. And this, of course, being a preview of what we will see in just 2 weeks, September the 16th from Anarchy Rules, where the Alpha World Championship will be on the line. But General Manager Castle Fave has made the what we're looking for, the reward, if you will, of winning this matchup, that the victor will get the massive advantage, no doubt about it, of picking the stipulation for that championship match at Anarchy Rules. So if Masao Yum wins, he and Ted Dickens going to get to choose exactly what type of match he goes up against Wolf. And if Wolf wins, he gets to choose the match. And I'd certainly be interested to see what both these men would pick for such an event. Here he comes, our first time seeing Josh Wolf with the Alpha World Championship around his waist. Finally rid of Fenrir, but Wolf saying he also, wait a minute, what? Who is that? Oh, it's Yum! It's Yum from behind, knocking the Alpha World Championship off of Josh Wolf. Yum onto the championship. The back of Wolf's head smacking off the championship belt as the Japanese bulldozer not looking to wait any longer to get his hands on the Alpha World Champion. And now a fight breaking out on top of the ramp. But before Wolf can drop Yum face first onto the LED board, Yum, targeting those ribs that were injured in the Iron Man match with Chris Sanchez at Ascendant 6, those ribs that were nearly broken, the ribs that he just healed from. Masao Yum knows exactly what to target. Now this fight's spilling into the crowd. Where the hell are these two going? Yum just beating the hell out of Josh Wolf here. I don't understand. I'm trying to get word from Castle Favor. It's security out here. Something, is this matchup still on? These two. What is Yum doing? Where is he taking Wolf? Disappearing off the side of the ramp now. And Yum just leaving the Alpha World Champion. Now going back. He saw Wolf get back up. He thought Wolf was done. But Josh Wolf is never done. He's got the heart of a champion. It's going to take a hell of a lot more than that to keep, oh my God, onto the concrete. That is pure concrete that Wolf just drove Hume neck first out onto with that Omega driver. But Hume, like some sort of inhuman monster, just gets right back up. A knee to the chest of Josh Wolf, and now Hume seemingly luring Josh Wolf down to the ring. Is this match still on? I don't know. It still hasn't been called off. I haven't received word from Cass. Security's still not coming out here. I have no idea whether this matchup is actually going to get underway. DDT takes out Hume on the ramp. They're slowly but surely getting closer to the ring. Another knee up under the chin of Wolf here, and a big clothesline, and finally we're getting some refs out here, some security to separate these two. Cass has officially called this match off after Hume launched a brutal pre-match attack on Wolf. Security rushing down the ramp before this fight can continue. No by Cave, shame in their eyes, but unable to continue their attack. The fans chanting, "Let them fight." But Castle Faith has to think about the safety of her superstars, and if that fight was allowed to continue, I don't think either one of those men would have walked out there fully intact. And at the pit position right here next week on Genesis to find out. But for now, thank you all for joining me, as always, for another great edition of Genesis. Certainly some, I don't know that I'd call them great matches. I'd call them very interesting matches. Certainly some hoots there. Some fights. Not matches, fights we got tonight. Make sure that if you're not following me already, you do so. Let you know when I go live next time, which will be tomorrow night, guys, for the Fusion exclusive pay-per-view, Battle Scars 4, which will play host to the Money in the Bank ladder match, as well as what very well may be Jacob Ziegler's last match in CMV, his Fusion career on the line, when he challenges Harvey Hastings for the World Heavyweight Championship. As always, if you want to join CMV, we are on Xbox One, !join. We'll give you a link to our website, cmvwrestling.com, Twitter, Discord, links to our social media. So I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Love ya. Peace. Peace and love. Have a good one. Have a good night. Don't die.